According to recent McKinsey research from 2026, only 18% of senior leaders report they have a structured, intentional approach to continuous learning. That means 82% of executives operating at the highest levels are essentially improvising their own development. They're relying on conference attendance, reactive reading, and luck to stay sharp in a landscape where technological disruption accelerates monthly. That is not a strategy. It's a liability. Here's what that gap actually costs you. When you don't learn systematically, you're operating on information decay. Your knowledge about market shifts, emerging technologies, consumer behavior, and leadership science becomes progressively obsolete. The stress compounds because you're making high-stakes decisions with outdated mental models. You're working harder, thinking less clearly, and your body knows it. Recent research from the International Journal of Occupational Medicine published in 2025 found that executives without structured learning practices report 43% higher cortisol levels and significantly worse sleep quality. Your brain is in a constant low-grade panic mode because nothing feels certain. You're checking email at 2 a.m. trying to solve problems you don't fully understand. Your team senses the uncertainty. Your decision-making becomes reactive instead of strategic. And the gap widens between you and the leaders who've made learning non-negotiable. This is especially acute in the Asia-Pacific region. A Deloitte 2026 report on leadership capability across APJ economies showed that 67% of C-suite executives felt unprepared for emerging technologies like AI and advanced data science. But here's the distinction. The ones who are thriving aren't smarter. They've designed systems that force continuous, strategic learning into their daily reality. In this video, we're showing you exactly how exceptional leaders architect their learning so it becomes automatic, energizing, and directly applicable to your role. We'll walk through 3 distinct learning models that work in different contexts. The deliberate study protocol for deep technical mastery, the peer intelligence network for real-time market sensing, and the reverse mentoring mechanism that keeps you plugged into emerging behaviors and technologies. We're also showing you how this integrates with sleep, recovery, and mental resilience because learning without energy management is just adding noise to an already overwhelmed system. By the end of this, you'll have a specific, non-negotiable architecture you can implement this week that actually fits into an executive schedule without creating more friction. Point 1. The deliberate study protocol. This is not passive consumption of podcasts while you're exercising. It's active, structured, time-bound learning that rewires how you think. The evidence is clear. Gartner's 2026 study on executive performance found that leaders who engage in 90 minutes of focused, goal-specific learning weekly show 34% higher strategic clarity and 27% better decision velocity when facing novel problems, not occasionally. Weekly. This is non-negotiable cadence. Here's what this looks like in practice. Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, has been documented following a disciplined protocol. He allocates Tuesday and Thursday mornings, 90 minutes each, exclusively to learning. No meetings, no email, no interruptions. His focus in recent years, according to recent CEO interviews from 2025, has been deep technical competency in generative AI and organizational neuroscience. He reads primary research, not summaries. He takes handwritten notes. He forces himself to articulate what he learned in writing within 24 hours. The application for you. Define your learning domain for the next 90 days. Not everything. One specific capability that directly affects your most critical business outcomes. If you're leading a digital transformation, that's AI and organizational change management. If you're managing AP&L through economic volatility, that's macroeconomics and scenario planning. Block 90 minutes. Twice per week. Non-negotiable. Use that time for primary research. Not content aggregation platforms. Read the actual papers. Take physical notes. Write a one-page synthesis 24 hours after you finish. That's your deliberate study protocol. The second model is what we call the peer intelligence network. This is how you turn your executive peer group into a real-time learning machine. The evidence matters here. According to a 2026 Harvard Business Review study, executives who participate in structured peer learning cohorts report 41% faster recognition of market shifts and 38% higher confidence in strategic decisions made under uncertainty. You're not guessing what's happening in your industry. You're hearing it from people operating at the same level in adjacent markets, dealing with similar constraints in Singapore and across Southeast Asia. We're seeing a powerful example of this with the CEO Forum organized by the Singapore Business Federation in 2025 and 2026. Participating chief executives who engage in monthly structured peer discussions on emerging market trends, regulatory shifts, and technology adoption report significantly higher strategic agility compared to peers operating in isolation. They're learning about supply chain solutions from a peer in Indonesia, understanding talent strategies from a leader in Vietnam, and adapting market entry playbooks from someone who just launched in Thailand. That's real-time learning compressed into conversation. Here's how you build this. Identify 8 to 12 peer-level executives, ideally from adjacent industries so there's no direct competition. Establish a monthly cadence, 90 minutes. Structured agenda focused on one specific challenge or emerging trend. CEO of a fintech firm shares how they're navigating AI regulation. Chief of a logistics company describes supply chain restructuring post 2024 trade shifts. Chief People Officer from a healthcare organization walks through talent retention during economic contraction. Everyone learns simultaneously. You're not hiring a consultant. You're leveraging the collective intelligence of your peer group. Point 3. Reverse mentoring for real-time adaptation. This is where you plug directly into emerging behaviors and technologies through deliberate, structured relationships with much younger leaders or practitioners. The evidence is striking. A 2026 Deloitte study on intergenerational knowledge transfer in organizations found that executives engaged in reverse mentoring relationships report 52% higher confidence in navigating emerging technology adoption and 36% better understanding of Gen Z consumer and employee behaviors. You're not just learning about social platforms or AI from reading. You're learning from someone who's native to that world, who can translate it into your context in real time. We're seeing this work exceptionally well in India's technology and fintech sector. Companies like Flipkart and Paytm have formalized reverse mentoring where C-suite executives are paired with emerging technology leaders, product designers, and data scientists significantly younger than them. In these structured relationships, the executive might spend 1 hour per month, bi-weekly, diving into specific topics. How AI is actually reshaping customer experience. What emerging workplace expectations look like. How decision-making is changing when you have access to advanced analytics. The benefit flows both directions. The younger mentor develops leadership perspective. The executive develops future readiness. Your application. Identify one emerging technology or capability that's outside your native expertise but directly relevant to your next 18-month strategy. AI implementation. Advanced data science. Gen Z workforce dynamics. Emerging platform strategy. Find someone in your organization, your network, or your industry who is genuinely native to that domain and is 10 to 15 years younger. Offer them 60 minutes, twice monthly, to teach you. Not as mentoring in the traditional sense. As a focused learning exchange. Come with specific questions. Let them speak. Document what you learn. Apply it immediately to one business decision. The mentoring relationship deepens. But more importantly, your knowledge stays current and your perspective stays adaptive. When you layer these three models together, something shifts fundamentally. You move from operating in constant reactive anxiety to working from a position of informed clarity. Your mornings feel different. You're not checking email and email and email, trying to construct meaning from fragmented information. You wake. You have 90 minutes of focused learning time twice per week that genuinely energizes you because it's building something. You're building a coherent mental model of your market, your industry, your technology landscape. You're not drowning in content. You're synthesizing signals that actually matter. Your sleep improves because your nervous system has shifted. You're not in low-grade panic mode. You know what's happening. You have frameworks. You have peer validation. You have access to emerging thinking. That cortisol baseline drops. Sleep deepens. Your recovery improves. In your meetings, your team notices the shift. You're asking better questions because you understand the landscape more deeply. Your decisions come faster because you have mental models that work. You're not second-guessing yourself at 2 a.m., you're calibrated. You're confident. And that confidence isn't ego. It's grounded. Thanks for listening. If you found this valuable, please subscribe to Apex Minds D4J for more powerful insights. See you in the next one.